It's Eastern Conference time for the traveling Toronto Raptors today. We're in Miami for some Heat basketball. This hometown crowd ready to go. This is 2K Sports bringing you the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan calling the action with my broadcast partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Now we've got a chance for our State Farm starting lineups. Hey guys, taking a look here at Kyle Lowry. What will we see from him?
You know, I think Kyle Lowry is one of the most underrated players in the league. Guys, a borderline all-star a year ago, really brings so much to the table. He's a true point guard. He really wants to get the ball into his teammates' hands to score, but at the same time, he's always a threat to put the ball in the basket himself.
Yeah, but that anticipation and ability you talk about to see a step ahead serves him well at the defensive end, too. A very good pilferer, if you will. He keeps the opposition on edge all the time.
And so the tip-off, it's Miami. Chalmers passes to LeBron. Shot's good.
You know, when you're guarding LeBron, you'd prefer him taking outside jumpers. He's a solid shooter, a much improved shooter, but he's so devastating and demoralizing going inside. You'd much rather force him to take challenge perimeter shots.
And that one misses. Clark, you mentioned LeBron's jump shot. Steve, it's something he's really worked on.
Yeah, you know, when he came into the league, he was very inconsistent with his motion. There was some balance issues, but in the 2008 offseason, he rebuilt his motion, tried to keep his elbow in a little bit more than he did in the past. He's become a much better shooter. He's still a little bit streaky, but still, his game is all about going inside and wreaking havoc in the paint.
Here's Lowry. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and two shots coming up.
Well, in the offseason, you knew that Kyle Lowry was probably going to be moved. He wasn't happy with the situation on the Rockets, and they eventually sent him to Toronto for draft consideration.
Free throw drops for Lowry.
Well, going back to Lowry, you know, it's so difficult to find a starting point guard in this league, and I think Toronto realized that. They figured, okay, we can get our future point guard by giving up a first rounder. It's going to be a lottery selection, so they gave up a lot, but I think they feel like they found their guy.
And so Lowry nails both of them.
You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011, and even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them two chances at the free throw line here. And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
Clays is checked in for the Raptors. Both free throws good from Battier.
You know, he's a real student of the game, an analytical thinker. Battier is a guy who studies his opponent's tendencies and tries to play the percentages defensively.
And he locks in the same way offensively. You'll rarely see him take a bad shot. Very selective with the shots that he takes, and he loves the corner pocket threes. That's one of the best shots in basketball for an offense.
And so here's Toronto after the Heat pick up two. Lowry drives in. DeRozan up high to stuff the alley-oop.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse, just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
Battier cannot hit. Miami on defense. The 11-footer. Was shot by Lowry, no good. The Heat have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
There haven't been many players that have the physical prowess of LeBron James, and he knows that this is going to pose a lot of problems for his team. He told me the most amazing thing to him about LeBron was that he has the ability to be a force at virtually any position on the floor, from point guard to center. He can and does do it all, guys.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. He'd have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. The drive by Wade over DeRozan. And not going to go. He misses the first attempt on the night.
Well, I think Andrea Bargnani just has so much potential. Got off to that great start last season. Showed a ton of progress, but then a calf injury caused him to miss some time. Put a little damper on his improvement.
That one goes. Count it. It's all knotted up.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
Here's LeBron.
Right there.
Great. The monster one-hand slam.
All business there, not messing around one bit. Flushed it right with one hand.
He never does, Clark. He never does.
Well, that's kind of his trademark, those slams like that one.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action.
And you know, guys, for Bargnani last season, as you mentioned, kind of a mixed bag. You know, he missed more than half of the season, yet when he did play, he was as productive as ever in terms of upping his rebounding and assist totals. So we'll kind of see what he does this year. I think he's got high expectations, and so does his team.
And a new group in for the Heat. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Bosh. Lewis comes in for Shane Battier. Ray Allen, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. A new group in now for the Raptors. Amir Johnson's checked in for Gray. Davis comes in for Bargnani. Landry Fields checking in for Linus Kleza. And it's Calderon in for Kyle Lowry. Calderon, no good.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Haslem, a screen on Calderon. It's Allen with the drive. The pass to Cole. Lewis, a screen on Calderon. Here's Cole, and blocked. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Calderon with it. Rashard Lewis covering. And here's DeRozan. Count the bucket. DeRozan's got his second bucket.
That's how you exploit that defense. Take the ball right to the basket.
Lewis sets the pick for LeBron. Cole. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
Boy, nice pick there, guys. I mean, gave him the space he needed for the hoop.
Calderon for three. An absolute bomb from three-point range. It's all tied in Miami. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, Stephen Clark, what are your thoughts?
I was impressed with their transition game, guys. They really got out and ran the lanes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, no better way to get easy buckets than through fast breaks. You know, the Heat knew it was all about the playoffs for them last year, Kevin, and ultimately they would be judged on if they were able to win a title or not. That's maybe harsh, but that truly is the reality for that group.
It is, you're right. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. So the Raptors 5 right now. Lowry and Fields are at the 1 and 2. Davis is out there with Linus Kleza. And it's Johnson in at the 5 down low. Here is Fields. The Heat getting the bucket. Makes the lead pass. It's stolen by Haslem. Feeds it to Chalmers. Back to Wade. Flushes it down.
Rock that rim. Gotta love that enthusiasm, folks.
Not only, Clark, did he rock the rim, he decided to hang around a bit for that one, too. I love it.
What a finish. That was just gorgeous.
Raptors trail by 4. Yeah, Clark, they cruised early, and once Derrick Rose got hurt and the Bulls were knocked out, they were the heavy favorites to reach the finals. But it was a struggle at times. So Indiana gave them a real good second round.
Yeah, and then Boston took them to 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, even had them down 3-2. But in the end, it was finally LeBron's turn, and he was amazing during the championship round against Oklahoma City. And it was very impressive the way he responded to his critics and played about as well as you can possibly play in an NBA Finals. Congratulations to Miami and to LeBron.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, the Miami Heat in their present incarnation have lacked that dominant shot-blocking big man in the middle, but they still have been one of the league's elite defensive teams. Last season, they tweaked their defensive philosophy to try to force more turnovers and enable them to get out and run. As Eric Spoelstra said, we wanted to play more to our athleticism and our activity. And LeBron added, Coach just wants us to be disruptive. We're just trying to use our instincts to create more turnovers, because we know if we create more turnovers, then it's off to the races. Kevin?
Doris, turnover is a great way to start a break, and they're dynamite in transition. And the first one at the line is good.
You know, I think there's always a balance for Miami between getting out and running and letting Wade and LeBron do their thing, and running the sets that Eric Spoelstra likes. Miami franchise has always been very controlled offensively over the years, and it's been a little bit of a quandary in terms of how to play. Do we get out and run, or do we play the way this team has traditionally played?
There is a tightrope that has been walked, Steve. You're right, with Miami in terms of play style. They, Clark seemed to find a balance, though, I thought, last year as the season went on.
Well, you know what? When you have players of their caliber, superstars, you got to give them a lot of rope and just let them go out and play and be free. It took some getting used to from both sides, but as you said, last year I thought they looked to be in sync.
So it's Miami now after the Raptors pick up 2. Battier dishes to Cole. He kicks it to Wade, and the shot is good. Wade's got 6 points.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
Fields with it. He's picked up by LeBron, and Fields kicks to Calderon, and another basket for Toronto.
That jump shot's like a layup for him when the defense backs off like that.
The Heat leading by 6, and Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Jose Calderon, a great playmaker and shooter, clutch free throw shooter. You know, injuries have been an issue for him over the last few years, maybe limiting his mobility. He is getting healthier now and playing awfully well.
And some changes here for the Heat. Chris Bosh is checked in for Lewis. Allen comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole. Then for the Raptors, Linus Kleza comes in for Aaron Gray. And it's Lowry in for Landry Fields. Chalmers passes to LeBron. Outside runner gets the bucket. LeBron's now got 8 points.
And, you know, when you look at Jose Calderon, I think one of the keys for him being more productive last season was that he was healthy. I mean, that allowed him to be a little quicker, helped him stay in front of opposing guards. And we know that's been an issue in the past, but being healthy helped resolve some of that.
Here is Calderon, following the basket by LeBron James. Calderon, no good. Allen left side. He feeds it to Chalmers. Back to Allen. On the wing, Battier. Heat moving the ball around. Ron right side. Just 5 on the clock. Battier dishes to LeBron. It's stolen by DeRozan. Lowry against LeBron. Here's Calderon. Miami grabs the miss. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And so we conclude the first half. Heat lead by 8. Make sure you stay tuned for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. Then we'll be back here right after that for the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And we played 2 quarters out at American Airlines Arena, and a great game is in progress for our halftime show. The Heat are doing very well so far. They're scoring effortlessly. The defense has been completely overmatched. The leading scorer, LeBron James. We're at halftime, and still, he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. And there's no quitting the Raptors. They came to win. They've done a great job closing out their defensive possessions, grabbing boards, great rebounding. They felt the impact from Jose Calderon. Also getting into the mix, DeMar DeRozan. And that's it for now. Thanks for stopping in with us. It's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, who are all ready with the call in the second half.
A look here at the fast-growing downtown of Miami, Florida, as we return to action
How about the night LeBron is having? He's got 8 points and also a couple of assists.
At the 2 and 3, the superstar duo of D. Wade and LeBron James. Shane Battier is out there with Chris Bosh, and it's Chalmers in at the 1 spot. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with. Now, here is Bargnani, looking for his first bucket of the game. Gets it to go.
Well, he's one of their anchors at the offensive end, guys, because he can make plays like that all the time.
And Bargnani is just so tough to cover because he's a 7-footer with 3-point range, but he also has the ability to put the ball on the floor and take you off the dribble. So he's really a matchup nightmare for teams.
LeBron kicks to Bosh. The Heat need to get a shot off. Wade for 3, but they recover it. Pass to LeBron. With 1 on the clock.
Wow. Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow. And he throws it down with 1 hand.
Well, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
That was a nice replay, brought to you by Sprite. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, Dwayne Wade is the only guard in NBA history to average a block a game over his career. Of his shot blocking, he says, shot blocking is first about courage. I take a lot of pride in it. If I can talk about anything in my statistical game, it's my blocks. It's the one thing I look at. I always enjoy it because I'm not supposed to do it as much as I have over my career. Kevin, it's a real advantage defensively.
He's something else, Doris. Thanks.
A great two-way player, and at 6'4", amazing the way he can protect the rim.
And for Bargnani, you know he's going to be a mismatch offensively. The key, Clark, for him has to be his defense.
Yeah, he can get overpowered inside a little bit, Kevin. He's just not that strong or physical a player in body or mindset. I think they need to make full use of his frame and have him play a little more like a 7-footer defensively. Again, they attack the hoop from the lane, and it's been really good to them.
Yeah, they're getting whatever they want down there. That's 4 of their last 5 buckets coming in the paint area.
Gray kicks to Bargnani. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Battier. Goes for the alley-oop. Deflects the pass. LeBron. He dishes it to Wade. And it's the devastating one-handed jam.
They're just getting better offensively as the game goes along, making good choices and getting high percentage shots.
And they're playing hard and playing smart too, Steve. They've just been very, very good.
Lowry passes to Bargnani. Over Battier. Shots good from Bargnani. Bargnani's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, guys, Eric Spoelstra is really a young coach, but he's worked his way up from video coordinator to being one of the outstanding head coaches in the league. To be where he is, coaching one of the very elite teams in the NBA in Miami. You couldn't ask for a better position or a better opportunity, but I really have great respect and admiration for the way he's handled that and grown into that position. It's one of the better stories in the league in my mind.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Bosh. Lewis comes in for Shane Battier. Ray Allen is checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Now here's LeBron. 10 points for him. That's good. LeBron's now got 12 in the game.
Well, you talk about the job that Eric Spoelstra has done for the Heat, Clark. A young coach, certainly, but he's earned the opportunity to coach this roster. I mean, he's shown that he's up to the task. One of the brightest young coaches in the game.
Here is Fields. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
Well, they're fortunate. Defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Oh, get it! Watch out now!
And for a point guard, you love LUV. That finish. Wow.
Yeah, he's really been able to get off his feet and sky. Something to watch.
Incredible athleticism, both laterally and vertically.
Count that one. He has 5.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there.
LeBron drives in over Johnson. Shot is no good. And Toronto will come the other way. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Andrew Fields on the wing. The feet to Clayson. kicks to Davis. Left side, Davis. From downtown. No good on the buzzer beater. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. It's the Heat. They lead by 9. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up, and we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game segment. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. It didn't take long for them as they were on the mark early and never faltered. Give them credit for controlling the game from the opening tip and being in the driver's seat now as we head to the final period.
All right, Doris, thanks. And the run Doris mentioned, guys, that was really a huge game changer here.
No question, Kevin. Probably the pivotal moment in the game so far, and I thought that really set the tone.
You know, one of the things that was interesting to me is you could see the body language of both teams change at that point. Obviously in different directions. Confident and assured on one side and a bit of chin in your chest on the other side.
On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. Calderon and DeRozan in the backcourt. Bargnani is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Fields in at the 3 spot. Now, here's Calderon. Bargnani dishes to Calderon. Calderon gets a screen from Bargnani. And Fields kicks to Calderon. And stolen by Chalmers. To the paint. Now it's Battier running. He can go all the way.
Oh, perfect opportunity to finish the break, and he blows it.
Steve, you have to be able to finish off plays like that. It's a must.
Bargnani. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Landry Fields, former second-round pick of the New York Knicks, had an excellent start to his NBA career. In fact, played so well that he was able to parlay a couple of solid seasons into a big offer sheet from the Raptors. And I think it's a good fit. Fields, good outside shooter, good size, excellent rebounder for a guard, good all-around player.
And guys, going back to Fields, I mean, the Raptors knew they needed wing help, and they liked what they saw in Landry and made no hesitation to sign him to an offer sheet.
LeBron, he's checked in for Shane Battier. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for the Raptors. Lowry comes in for Jose Calderon.
Always someone you love having at the line.
The Heat leading by 9. Fourth quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books. The drive by LeBron. Good.
He has so much confidence, guys. What a finish.
The Raptors making a switch here. Johnson's checked in.
1 shot.
Free throw good, LeBron.
Well, LeBron James winning his 3rd MVP in 4 seasons last year. And by the numbers anyway, far and away the best player in the league, averaging around 27 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, almost a walking triple-double.
And the Raptors call time here. And going back to LeBron last season, playing the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, and he easily could have won 4 years in a row the MVP trophy, but voter fatigue, I think, does kick in. It's not something people want to hear, but it's a reality. If you ask me, LeBron has been the best in the game for probably 5 or 6 years at least. There's nobody that does what he does on a consistent basis.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was just going over the plan with his team. He told them, no holding back. I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, ask for a sub. No time to rest now. Let's get after it. Kevin, he wants everything they've got.
That's good from DeRozan. Both free throws good from DeRozan.
You know, you look at the way a point guard develops at a young age, most of them turn the ball over quite a bit. And the game is happening so fast, They're trying to figure out what they can or can't do on the floor. But the more experience they get, generally speaking, the better they get at handling the ball.
Now here's LeBron. Fires from 14. That's good from Wade on the assist by LeBron. 14 points for Wade.
And he's a go-to scorer for a reason, Kevin. He's aggressive, can adapt to what the defense is doing. You can put your best defender on him. It doesn't matter. Wade will still find ways to get to the basket.
Yeah, he's able to make acrobatic finishes and shots that you just can't believe he does. I mean, it takes your breath away, Steve. It's a hard shot, an impossible shot for most players, but for him, it almost seems par for the course.
And Steve, you speak of that from both a GM and a former guard. You've got certainly a great resume in both those areas. It just takes time to adjust to the speed of the game at the NBA level.
And sometimes these talented point guards are so good, Kevin, that they have to figure out what they can and can't do. They feel like they can do everything, so they come into the league and they've got to just make some mistakes and learn from them and then eventually settle down and become efficient.
And it's blocked by Johnson. First one falls for him. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
One of the things the Heat did a nice job of last year was preserving Dwayne Wade's energy by cutting down his minutes. In fact, a career low during the regular season for him. Second lowest scoring output of his career as well, but of course had a lot of help with LeBron James and Chris Bosh. More than willing to put his own personal numbers aside in search of the championship.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense. But I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
The free throw drops for Chalmers. And you mentioned Dwayne Wade's career low in minutes. LeBron also played a career low in minutes. Chris Bosh, the second least to his rookie season. But there was a method to this. They wanted those guys rested in a very compacted season.
No question about it, Kevin, and that was pretty universal across the board when you looked at teams that were of championship caliber, trying to make sure they use the bench more effectively. And I hope it plays out going forward even in a more normal season, because there are a lot of good players, and it does save your star players a little bit to be at their best, hopefully, when the games mean the most, late and in the playoffs.
Well, the main strength of his is his finishing ability in tight. And even if you get a body on him, he can power it through the contact.
And he's very much a student of the game in terms of getting to know the tendencies of whichever player he's guarding on any given night, and then gearing his defensive game plan to do what he needs to do to stop him.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
The Heat have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Lowry against Chalmers. This is to LeBron. The rebound by Fields. The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Chalmers past the Bosh. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Clark, this one just all but in the books.
Yeah, I don't see a comeback at this point, partner.
Not enough time and just too big of a deficit for this team.
And that one's good.
Excellent job carving out space under the glass to make that putback possible.
Chalmers with it. He passes to Wade. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Holland saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.